Distinguished guests, EIF members and friends, a warm welcome to you all for today's debate on copyrights in the EU digital single market. A special welcome goes, first of all, to our colleagues, MEPs, who are here with us. Some others will probably join. I see Julia Reda, Timo Völken, and obviously Catherine Styler, which I will mention later, that is co-chairing this wonderful debate and has been the driving force for this, I hope, a very good occasion for exchange. Obviously, a special welcome goes as well to our speakers. I will introduce them in a moment, but let me just say a few introductory words. I will be brief because I think it's important that we have a real debate. As you all know, the reform of EU copyright rules has been a long-running and hotly debated topic within the European institutions. The extensive proposals for reform will have consequences for a whole range of stakeholders within Europe. And today we will focus in particular on the copyright reform in the context of public interest, consumer protection, and impact on citizens, looking at Title 2 and Title 3, so Articles 3 to 6 and 7 to 9. These aspects of the reform are relatively less debated compared to the primary focus that, for some extent, has been placed on Articles 11 and 13, yet they will affect sectors that are crucial for our societies, such as education, research, and culture. So to update the copyright framework to digital content and cross-border use, which have been both become central in all these fields. Therefore, I am particularly glad that the colleague Ms. Styler chose with us to focus the debate on these aspects in order to amplify the voices of the relevant stakeholders for these two titles of the reform also. As I said, a bit less on the spotlight than Article 11 and 13, but extremely important and issues where colleague Styler has been doing a very important and relevant work. Our distinguished speakers all have hands-on experience with copyright in their daily work. Therefore, I'm sure they will provide us with precious insight on the impact of the reform. As you know, we have been working on the text as a parliament for around 2 years now, and since the jury vote has not taken place yet, there is still some room for reflection. I will briefly name just a few of the points I think are mostly worrying and as it stands, and they should be, in my opinion, still debated. First of all, we need to be careful about the scope of the exceptions regarding text and data mining, which are risk to be too narrow and risk hindering innovation at the EU level by excluding the startups, independent researchers, journalists, etc. I myself co-signed several amendments on this topic in both IMCO and jury, asking to broaden the scope of the exception, as well as not to limit it to the sole purpose of scientific research. As for the digital use of copyrighted works for the purpose of teaching, including only educational facilities and only limiting the exception for non-commercial use, also leaves out other research and cultural heritage institutions that might provide other types of educational activities and non-formal education, something I've been working very much as co-chair of the Youth Intergroup in the European Parliament. The same stands for the article on preservation, as it is only limited to this act and not to research, educational, cultural activities. In general, I would say that rigidity and narrowness are naturally opposed to culture, the spread of knowledge and research. That is why we need to find the best solutions that then contemporate different interests that obviously are there and must be taken into consideration to find the best solution. As the time is limited, as I said, I don't want to delve more into the details, but I'm sure that we will hear a lot from our speakers. I hope then after their presentations there will be time for some exchange of questions and answers. I will list them in the order we ask them to present their views. First of all, we have William Bowes, Director of Policy and General Counsel of the Publishers Associations, probably especially on text and data mining. We will hear from him. Then Rosa Maiello, National President of the Italian Library Association, which advocated pluralism and freedom of expression through her work. So probably going on also on the cultural heritage issue. Julian Roche, Director of the Liliad Learning Center Innovation of the Université de Lille. For sure, we will hear on research and teaching. And then Anne-Marie Beunen, copyright lawyer, National Library of the Netherlands, probably on all these topics. So thank you for coming, and the floor is yours. Thank you.